Soon after this, Tom's mother went one day to milk her cow in the pasture, and she took him along with her. It was a very windy day, and in order to make sure that he should not blow away, she tied him to a thistle with a strand of fine thread. The cow was peacefully eating, but she soon spied Tom's oak leaf hat, and thinking it a good-looking morsel to eat, she took up the little fellow and the thistle at a mouthful. When the cow began to chew, Tom had great difficulty to keep out of the way of her teeth and her tongue, and he called out boldly, "Mother, mother!" "Oh, Tommy, my dear little Tommy, where are you?" cried his mother. "I'm here in the red cow's mouth," he answered bravely. At that, the cow, surprised at the odd tickling as something moving in her throat, opened her mouth and let Tom drop out. His mother caught him in her apron as he was falling to the ground and ran off home with him. Tom often went to the fields with his father, and as he was anxious to be of use, he one day begged to be allowed to take home the horse and cart. His father laughed at the very idea of little Tom's driving a huge horse. "You? Why, you couldn't even reach up to the top of his hoofs," he cried. "How were you going to hold the reins?" "Oh," answered Tom quite confidently, "I don't need to hold the reins. I'll just sit in the horse's ear and call out which way he is to go." The father was amazed that his son should think of anything so bold and clever, so he placed little Tom in the horse's ear and let him set out. "Yeo-hop, yeo-hop," cried Tom, and guided the horse so well he reached home in a very short time. Tom's mother was greatly surprised when she saw the horse arrive at the cottage with no one to drive him, but Tom called out, "Mother, mother, take me down. I'm in the horse's ear." "Now just to think of a little man like you driving a great big beast like that," cried his mother, and she was so pleased with what he had done that she lifted him carefully down and gave him a whole big red currant for his supper. Seeing how helpful his son could be, the father now made him a little whip of a barley straw, so he could sometimes drive the cattle home. As he was in the field thus at work one day, a raven spied him and picked him up, soaring high in the air and carrying him away. He dropped him at last from his talons into the top of a tree near a giant's castle. Pretty soon out came the giant for a walk on the terrace. Mistaking Tom for the fruit of the tree, he plucked him off the branch and opened his mouth to swallow him. But just then, along through the air, came the Queen of the Fairies in a chariot drawn by flying mice. Snatching Tom from the giant's hand, she placed him beside her and drove off with him to fairyland.